Hello, my name is George Vatchnadze, and I am the Audiophiliac of the day. But basically, I'm a concert pianist. That's what I do for a living. I also teach full-time at DePaul University. I run the piano department there. But today we're talking about being an audiophile. Steve asked me to express my thoughts about it, and I think the most interesting thing is how different musicians approach listening to music versus audiophiles. For example, we pianists listen to really old recordings of beginning of the century of Sergei Rachmaninoff, of Joseph Levine, of Moritz Rosenthal, of all these giants of piano, you know, with the heritage from Liszt and from Beethoven and all that. And we couldn't care less how it sounds when we listen to that. So I completely turn off my audiophile ears, and I'm perfectly capable of doing it. It's very easy for me to forget how it sounds and listen and get the information, musical information, which is much more interesting and important in that case. When I demonstrate that to some of my friends who are not musicians and who are audiophiles, or people from the industry, makers of high-end audio equipment, some of the even sometimes are reviewers, no offense, they can't relate to that. I've had that experience once. I was playing the recordings of Rachmaninoff, who is, you know, by far the greatest pianist who ever lived. It's very easy to assume that upon listening to him, and that particular person couldn't even understand what I was talking about. He said, you know, but it sounds so bad. He said, you know, there's all this noise, and then there's no this and there's no that, and so the information completely bypassed the ears of a pure audiophile.
Right.
And I think that's very interesting. So I find myself to have two different antennas when I listen to high-end audio. When I listen to speakers or systems, and I want to appreciate, you know, what is more transparent, what has more air, where's a better bass, where's the, you know, sweeter mid-range, and so on, all the audiophile traits that everybody's talking about. On the other hand, I can listen to to the FM radio or to a boombox, and I can recognize Horowitz from the first three notes of the recording, regardless of what it is reproduced on or how good the fidelity is. It makes absolutely no difference. And I think that's what differentiates how musicians listen to music and to high-end audio from non-musicians. And that's the reason why there aren't that many audiophiles among musicians. Because musicians don't need the fidelity to process the information, right? And I think, you know, I find myself being sort of an exception from that rule, because I actually enjoy high-end audio very much. I hope this point of view is interesting, and thank you for doing this.
Thank you.